two slides with regard to this informal, like the requirements informal markets have, which you need to observe. Otherwise, that's some, especially in Brazil, like in India, you need to know the right people. We're desperately looking to build up our logistics operations in Brazil and science. But then we had been screening the market for 6 months, so the people got really desperate because they needed a solution. And after 6 months, we suddenly understood that okay, we need to more focus on the people, especially also people at the bottom of the pyramid, because somehow they knew some contacts where they were. Who were warehouse providers and who were willing to also let's say foreign investors in. So
you're using experts of the business pyramid to multiply your interest?
Yes, I mean that was at that moment it was like a person who worked in a warehouse, and that warehouse was on the verge of bankruptcy.
Maybe because if you're trying to manage a business from here with the ideas more on the formal side, to take your example, and you still relate to employees which are more on the informal side, you have to close that thing somehow, and that has been a challenge for our company in the past, and I think that's where a lot of efforts are required and improvements can be done.
Where's the community manager coming from? Is he a local? The community manager, is he a local or is he coming from outside?
Well, it depends on the location. We usually try to have a local person, just because they're close to the community and be it the language or the relations to the local families or clans, or it makes it easier. But at the same time, they have to relate to the central corporate culture as well, and have an understanding what the corporate's intentions are and how they can link and basically get a win-win situation for both sides.
It can change something.
America, except Brazil and less in Central America. And your assumptions about informal negotiation and contracts, I have seen it in another way. I think it depends a lot on the kind of business you are. If most of your examples were focused more, you are dealing with producers or local people. I think that's really a big challenge. But I think if you go to another kind of companies or another level like logistics or manufacturing, I think you face other kind of challenges. I don't know what is your opinion about.
What kind of challenges do you mean?
Yeah, I mean you have more challenge about reliability or timing, because to develop a business takes you much more time than you expect. Or to close a contract, maybe needs 5 talks instead of just sending a contract per email. Or having the right network in the right country and talking the same language. I think that's making a difference. Here, I can imagine like dealing with coffee, or then you have to really go to the maybe union leaders, or it's more complex. But in general,
for years, but they're just newcomers. The key difference was that the one who worked there now for years, they have many different embeddedness and relations with local business. Very bottom, also the top. And why? They have a lot of supporting processes inside of the company. The Mensa, integrating the new intelligence inside of the field. In Costa Rica, they invest a lot of money in engineers. But where are they coming from? So this is a key question. They are supporting them more and more and go more and more on the base of the pyramid to secure that they are really going to university, make a good graduation, and come to their company. And this was really interesting. The longer we're working in the top tier in the country, the stronger you go also in the lower level. But nevertheless, we shouldn't put everything in the same way.
Just to make the point, I agree, but I would still like to point out there are also, for example, in Brazil companies that are local animals, and they have completely professional setup, internationally successful high-tech companies like Empire, for example. They crush Bombardier, and they have a local culture. They came from the local military originally, yeah, you can say they're not an implant from outsiders, from the culture. So I think we really get to have all kinds of examples there.
Also in the conference, there was a key discussion on the question, what kind of companies should we focus on? The ones that come from outside and go in the field, they are much better, or the ones that are just locals and they are making international business already. And there's a good article on emerging trends. This is something I really like. I observe it more and more in different companies. These are the local ones, highly professional, and they have the knowledge of the local place, but they are selling it. Did you go in this direction?
Yeah, that's what we mean. These global challenges, companies that not just monetize their local knowledge, but they really come from transitional countries and then challenge the old.
I do think that people want to get out of the formal market, especially entrepreneurs. They want their kids to study, and they want their kids not to continue the business that they grew in the informal way. If they can, I think they will try to formalize it in a certain way. I do think if the trend goes with higher education into more formality, but I would not go.
What we have seen, two things. One is in education, when the families have more money, they can say it's one chance to work at the university. There's no other job for me in Costa Rica. I'm overqualified down there at this stage. And this is the thing you have down there. And the second is the observation that the new leadership, the middle class, is growing really, really fast. And this is because of education. When you educate poor people also, immediately see the options and they create new things. And this is a new phenomenon also, not just in Asia, also in Latin America. And that's actually the new market. Many of the people, the organizations that are looking at base of the pyramid C, many of them are focusing on the new middle class, not yet on a really low level. They call this new middle class base of the pyramid. I don't think we are already at the really bottom of the base of the pyramid.